Hi, my name is Tash Dowling. I'm from Detox, and I'm here talking with my friends, Michael Jacobus from Summer Reset Camp. And we are here to discuss today just a few things about why would we ever do a digital detox. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Great. It's great to catch up with you. We've both been in a small community of people that have been tackling the screen issue for a few years now. You're part of Summer Reset Camp. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Why people would want to do a digital detox at the Summer Reset Camp?
Sure. Well, Reset Summer Camp was founded 4 years ago now, and it's really for kids, mostly teenagers, that have unhealthy connections with their online lives, either gaming or streaming or social media. And digital detox isn't for everybody, but it's really for the kids who can't separate their home lives, their school lives, their sleep patterns from their online time. And we started Reset Summer Camp to give them a place to go to do a full digital detox. Our program is 4 weeks long, and it ends with a family workshop weekend at the end. We communicate with the parents during the program and after the program, and then we follow up with each family for 12 weeks after. So it's a pretty intense, it's sort of a last resort before choosing a wilderness program or something more extreme.
Absolutely. Great. And some of the benefits to doing that's where the kids go away from the family for 4 weeks and do the detox period away from the home.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then they come back and integrate back into society with implementing the right tools for them.
Yeah, most of the kids who come to our program, it's kind of a running joke among the summer camp professionals that I work with, because I've been a summer camp director for over 30 years.
Yeah.
But this is the only camp I've ever run where not a single kid is happy to be attending. They all think they don't have a problem. Mom has a problem.
That's right.
And so, like I say, it's kind of for extreme cases. And the first week is always the hardest. The sleep patterns are horrible. The eating habits are horrible. And it really takes us a good week or two to get them into a routine where, we don't do a lot of snacking. We have 3 meals a day. We go to bed at the same time every day. We get up at the same time every day.
Yeah.
And really get them into really who they were before technology, consumed them.
Absolutely.
And the whole point is to give them some life skills and get them ready for college or life beyond high school. We have culinary programs. We teach them how to do their own laundry, because most of them don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a roommate setting at a college campus, so they get a feeling on what it's like to be responsible for more than just yourself. And, it's kind of a whole crash course in adulthood in 1 month.
Yeah, getting ready for all the life skills that they need, that they miss out on because of, I think screen robs a lot of time, and a lot of time where families, wanting to be sharing their family values. One thing that you said then was they get back to being who they were. So often the most painful point, and as a parent myself, having gone through this and seeing it with other people, there's this urge to, I want my child back. And we often see the child acting out with these certain behaviors because of too much screen time. And we think, oh my gosh, that's my child's personality. Whereas in fact, I notice as well with the Detox Restore program, it can be sometimes just a week in and you're like, wow, my child's back and connected and, involving themselves in activities that they're actually enjoying. It's not only that, I find, and you probably see this too, but behaviors change. They're not sort of always bargaining and acting like, well, what can be a bit of a drug addiction style acting, where they're being defiant all the time. Just the way that the screen can set up the nervous system as well to be wanting something, wanting something, wanting something, and missing out on so many life skills and so many activities, and even missing out on maybe finding their passion in life.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty wonderful when you see the change, right?
Oh yeah, it's the most rewarding part of what we do.
Same here. It's absolutely amazing to see without any drugs and intervention, just simply from having a break for a while from the screen,
Yeah.
there can be incredible changes, and quite quickly, I'm finding as well.
Well, and we also have therapists on our staff who work with the kids every day.
Yeah.
They do group therapy 3 mornings a week. They do individual therapy all week, every week. And there's usually something else going on, especially with the teenagers, that cause them to escape into an online persona or into social media. With the girls, we find a lot of over sexualization, unrealistic expectations of what they should look like on Instagram, beauty standards they will never meet. And boys, they are looking for connection. We're all looking for connection.
Yeah.
But if they can't find it in the real world, or it's too hard in the real world, or parents, quite honestly, have made it too easy to just slip into your room and get online, then that's where they gravitate.
That's right, because it's such a strong pull, isn't it? It's very overstimulating. And you often hear the I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored, right? Because the
All the time.
screen is so stimulating that it's very hard for anything natural to compete.
Yeah, we actually have something called healthy boredom at camp.
Yeah.
And it's a time during the day when absolutely nothing is scheduled on purpose
Yeah.
for them to interact, pick up a guitar,
Yeah.
grab some art supplies, do something. Because now is the bored time. So fill your time with some activity, and maybe, like you said, find a passion.
Which can really help a lot too if that
Yeah.
happens, if it's their right time and everything. But I noticed that they naturally gravitate, like kids are so resilient, they naturally gravitate towards wanting to do something. They don't want to be bored. And it's not really our responsibility as well. Like so many parents are running around trying to fit in, stopping their child from being bored, where I find that their imaginations come back alive when they have that period of time. What happened to daydreaming? In a car, even you're on a road trip with the family, and instead of there being an iPad on the back seat of the car where they're watching that, they're looking out the window and actually engaging that part of their brain for imagination and creativity, and pondering themselves, or self-reflection and life, which is a natural process for people and kids
Absolutely.
that they're missing out on. So yeah, it's beautiful how it sort of naturally finds a way back to getting their childhood back, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, there are some challenges, aren't there, to even considering the idea of having or participating or sending your kid to or being a part of a family digital detox. There's a lot of times I hear from people that are going, I need help, and they might require a digital detox, and they're like, oh my gosh, no way. I've tried taking it before. It has been the worst argument we've ever had. I can't do that. You hear that a
Yep.
lot.
I talk to parents all the time about that. And it's so funny. They're so wrapped up in guilt and shame and trying so hard to be their kid's friend. And, I'll tell them that, that may be the case, and maybe you have plenty to be feeling guilty about or shameful about, but none of it matters. We need to start with today and move forward and not worry about what happened in the past. And you need to be the child's parents, not their pal. And if that means you're going to have a meltdown when you take away the tech, then you have a meltdown. I promise it won't last very long.
It really
You know,
doesn't.
it might last a day, it might last 2 days, but it's when the bargaining happens and the parent gives in and gives the technology back to the kid, that makes it that much more harder to actually do a detox.
It really does, yeah. I think as a parent, for some reason, maybe when we first have our child, we just get a clump of guilt. I don't know why. It comes with the territory. But often you hear this, I don't want to take away what makes my child happy. You know, they're happiest when they're on their game or scrolling on their social media. And it's kind of a catch-22 because that happiness is pretty much the dopamine hit they're getting. Yes, they can be very stimulated and very happy on the screen, but it's in a sense robbing their happiness, their true happiness. Because when you take the screen away, I find that there's even depression that can come into existence. There's you know, the underlying feelings that are there that's being masked by this overstimulating, you know, dopamine hit happiness.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean that scary part that parents are scared of that meltdown. And I find that, you know, say in the Detox Restore program, there's a very, I'm kind of quite strict really with the safety measures around going through that meltdown, and also letting people know that it doesn't last that long at all. It has to be done in a correct way with the right support and totally guided, you know, whether you're at camp or whether you're doing it, you know, at a in-home program. I find also that when parents go through that meltdown and they did it, it really is like a jump start to, wow, I've created some really firm boundaries here with my child that I might have needed for a long time. I did it, that kind of feeling. I
Yeah.
did it. And so then going through the rest of it, it's like, I've already done that. So this is actually a lot easier than I thought. Yeah. And then we start to see the beautiful coming back of the family connection and the child's connection to themselves and their activities.
Yeah, we ask a lot of what we call pre-screening questions of the parents, and we even had a mom who tried to sign her kid up for camp last summer, and in part of the review and the questioning that we had of her is tell us about your kid's day. What is he doing? And he's getting good grades, he's doing his homework, he's getting enough sleep, but she thinks he games too much. And we didn't accept him into the program because it sounds like he's got a good, healthy balance. She might not like the game he's playing,
Mm-hmm.
but we rejected the application because that's not a kid who needs a detox. That's
Yeah,
a kid who needs more communication with his mom about what kind of games he's playing.
exactly.
But the kids who stay up till 3 a.m. and are flunking out of school and are using bad language around the house, those are the kids that really need the help. And we'll
Absolutely.
sometimes compare it to, like a syringe for a drug addiction.
Mm,
And we'll say, would you hand your kid a syringe? And
yeah,
the parents will all say, of course not. Well, that's what you're doing
yeah,
when you're handing them technology if they can't handle it.
yeah.
Like I say, if they have a good balance, which is what we strive for, we understand we live in a tech world. We never tell a kid or a parent that they'll never play a game again or they'll never be on social media again, because that doesn't make sense in today's world. But if they have an addiction towards it, then that needs to be handled.
That's right. Yeah, and sometimes it is needed. I find the same thing. It's not always a digital detox is not the answer for everybody. Sometimes it is about communication and connection with the parent-child relationship. Definitely. Um, yeah, so it's fascinating to see all the different ways that people of what they need. Yeah. Um, so yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The post digital detox period, or even during it. What do you find that that parents and even kids? Do you ever hear from the kids? Often I hear from the kids, "Oh, I actually feel a sense of relief, especially the teens, because the girls are under so much pressure, like you were saying before, with having to perform,
Yeah.
and the guys are so, you know, being controlled. Generally guys, oh, there's a lot of girls actually gaming too, but they feel relief, they feel like they have been controlled by something and that they're free. Do you ever hear that?
Yeah, actually, we do hear that a lot. It's funny because the build up to coming to camp, they're totally resistant.
Oh yeah.
And, we've had kids that came late to camp because they refused to get on the plane, or they ran away from home the day the car was leaving for camp, and then they
Yeah.
came the next day. And they just are so obstinate to letting go of their digital connection. But then once they're at camp for, about a week, then they don't really miss it. Then they're interacting with their peers and they're, having conversations with real live people our staff or the other campers, and they're involved in cooking and doing their own laundry and being responsible to their roommates, and they don't really seem to miss it. And they do report feeling much less anxiety, much less depression. And so the challenge becomes for us getting them reintegrated, communicating with the parents, getting ready for the family workshop, because we're going to send them home. So at the end of the 4 weeks, we need to make sure that they stay the course that they've developed at camp.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The post, sorry, I've got a bit of cough. Pardon me. The post detox period is so important. And I find that, like, the parents modeling the behavior, it's really helpful for them to be going through the detox with their kids sometimes, I find, because they're like, wow, look at me, like I'm running to the beck and call of my master. Whereas this is how we want to turn it around. I am the master of my technology. I go to it when I need it, rather than I run to every beep notification, whereas, that's also that dopamine hit running. So just turning it around, and then having technology work for us and for our kids to empower us and to feed our passions, rather than, the other way around, where we're just running to it. And a lot of time is wasted, and a lot of, time that could be spent building passion and building connection, all these important childhood ingredients that's needed to build a healthy person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can seem really overwhelming for the parents to not know what to do, to be carrying this guilt. So here we are. We both offer a digital detox program. Yours is sending the kids away for a month and then coming back and integrating. And the Detox Restore program that I do is an at-home one, where we are running through it as a family together. And then the parents, I think, get to see for themselves the changes as they go along. And they're like, wow, look what we've swapped this for. My child is singing and dancing and drawing. And I think maybe that can give them the conviction. They seem to grow a sense of conviction, whether they see it during the detox or after. They're like, wow, look at my new child. My child's back. How exciting. I need to, carry on with this and develop a healthy relationship with technology. And then, that definitely needs to be supported. And every child's different, so it needs to be tested out what works for this specific child, rather than just, I find the what is it, the World Health Organization, 2 hours a day, the teens and 1 hour. It's not for everybody, is it? I mean, it's a great guideline. At least they've got it there, but it doesn't work for everybody's different. And so it's important to have that authentic relationship built with technology.
No, I agree. Every time a parent asks me how much time should they allow, I'll say, tell me about your kid.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a set hours answer. If your kid is glued to it and staying up till 3 a.m, then 0. He needs a detox. If, like that example I gave you, that he's playing games and doing his homework and doing all kinds of other stuff, then no problem.
This is Anne-Marie from
exactly.
Job Connection. How are you today?
Thank you. Okay. Well, I just thought it would be great for us to have a chat and to let parents know that, and kids, that there is support. It is really strong, a strong force that we're playing with our devices and technology. To reach out and ask questions, what you may need support with, that you're not alone with asking any question to us. We'll pop this video up somewhere and maybe have comments where people can ask what they would like to know more about. And also just that sense that, no, you're not alone. It's so common for parents to feel guilty. It's so common for us to feel shame. We've both been through it as parents with our kids, right? We're both passionate to be supporting people through this, because seeing the change is just like the best thing in the world. It's not as hard as you think at all, with the right support. So I think
it can be done. It's not impossible.
Not impossible. It's just so worth it. It's great. So Michael, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on about what parents might be
No, I
questioning?
think I like your idea of, posting it and answering comments. So you and I can both check in and see if there's questions that are being asked, and we can just keep the conversation going.
Let's do that. Opening up the conversation, and then if any, we're happy to do short videos again to answer any common questions. Let's leave it
Yeah,
at that.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.